What is up? What is up? It is Sunday. It is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am running the show for a little bit. The king has been delayed a little bit. So we're going to get through this the best way we can. And do what we got to do. So hopefully if anybody's tuning in, you can be my eyes, be my ears, give me a little hand as we try to struggle through this tonight on a one-man show. So tonight what we're talking about is we're in Arkansas one more time. It is our last stop and we are on our way out of Arkansas. We don't know where we're going next. It's chaos. Chaos ensues. That is the way it goes. So we are past the Halloween season. We are into November. It's almost going to be Thanksgiving before you know it. And then it's going to be Christmas time. Christmas time, we will have a good show for you. Anybody in the comment section, please be sure to leave a comment. Ask questions as we go. But today, we're talking about the legendary Boggy Creek Monster. So what we got here, since we are in Arkansas, I don't have a lot of slides tonight. Slides are having a little bit of an issue. We'll figure it out as we go on the fly, because that is how it is. Chaos ensues. So what we have is a Bigfoot-style creature. And this is over in Miller County, Arkansas. And the sightings of this thing go back decades. So the little town of Folk, Arkansas has been having this issue with this giant Sasquatch-looking creature hanging around. And a lot of people have been seeing it here and there, and willy-nilly. I do have a few descriptions, a few sightings before we move on to other things. So, according to this news article, ABC 7 on your side, coming out of Arkansas, Reba Killian was a little girl when she says she saw the first creature on a late night drive, and we're going to quote, 7.5 to 8 feet tall, and we had just started screaming. We were banging on the truck trying to get our parents to stop because we were kids. Nobody was going to believe us. And we used to run those woods all the time in between my house and her house. And after that, I said, no more. I'm not going back in those woods. It would have snapped us like a twig if it wanted to. So the interesting thing about this thing is it goes back early 70s. It goes all back to Native American times. They actually made a couple movies on this thing. Well, the big famous one was the Boggy Creek. Got it in my notes. So that movie was called The Legend of Boggy Creek. It was done in the late 70s. It seems to be one of the absolute classics out there of horror movies involving a Bigfoot creature running around, attacking people. So what we got is, it has not been found like most cryptids. Sightings started in 1834, and they have been going on for a century. Became more frequent in the early 1900s. The most famous sightings occurred in the early 1970s when a family claimed to have been attacked in their home. Some of the evidence of the Boggy Creek Monster includes footprints with 3 toes, claw scratches on the door, and a replica of a baby monster's remains. So apparently we found monster's remains. Anybody in the chat want to chime on in? Folklore says be 7 and 8 feet tall, will weigh close to 300 pounds, and be covered in long hair. The Boggy Creek Monster has been the subject of at least 4 films, including the 1972 horror film The Legend of Boggy Creek. The city of Falk does have a festival in April. It's a 2-day festival celebrating all things Boggy Creek. There is a museum called the Falk Monster Mart in Falk, has cast footprints and a replica of a baby monster's remains. Lyle Blackburn actually happened to have wrote a book, which we are going to be going through. It's called The Boggy Creek Casebook, and everything's going to be reversed because, yeah. But we're going to be reading maybe a little bit of this one because James Mitchell says, of course there's a festival. Of course there's a festival. Everybody's got to have a cash cow. You got to turn disaster into popularity, disaster into tourism dollars. You got to make that dollar. But we're going to go back to when the family claimed to have been attacked in their house at night. The incident generated so much media attention that the monster became national news, putting Falk on the map and bringing monster hunters from around the country, much to the locals' dismay. You get people coming in, bringing their guns and dogs and different things, tromping through and tearing down fences, says Denny Roberts, owner of the Monster Mart in Falk. Many were afraid of other kinds of negative attention their personal accounts of the monster may bring. Denny Roberts went on to say, people are private back over there, and they don't like to be ridiculed. And a lot of times they get ridiculed when they say they saw something, you know? No reason to bring it up to anybody. It is what it is. I'm not going to hunt in certain areas. There are several areas of this countryside here that I will never go into again to hunt, said Tom Zorn, a self-styled diamond-digging Sasquatch hunting poet. Exactly what is a diamond-digging Sasquatch hunting poet? Sasquatch doesn't really rhyme with a whole lot of things. Alright, so then we talk about the movie being turned into a folk horror as much as a documentary. The wildly successful 1972 film entitled The Legend of Boggy Creek forever cemented the folk or Boggy Creek monster in the town's identity. In the many years since then, monster sightings have continued. The most recent occurred just weeks ago in 2023. Roberts again says, first thought it was a deer, but I said, no, that's no deer. It's too big of a body mass. It was reddish orange. Looked to me like some kind of orangutan. Roberts said of a sighting that happened on a drive 2 Sundays ago, the first he had ever experienced. Locals claim other evidence is often found as well. Doyle Holmes said he and his son found tracks while out hunting and created casts from them. It's got a little bunion on the side, and we've seen them since several more in the track of woods. And it looks like the same individual, says Holmes. So we got tracks, and they seem to be 3-foot tracks. Which was kind of interesting. Bear with me, we're trying new things. There we go. There's a track. Now I can figure this stuff out. So there's a 3-toed track in the mud that they like to talk about. You know, I think some people are going to miss the funky accent I got going on here. Some in the area have dedicated their lives pursuing and studying the elusive beast, like William Lunsford, original renowned Bigfoot researcher, who has authored a book on the folk monster and boasts a considerable collection of evidence ranging from photographs to calcium tracks. Lunsford took Channel 7 out in the forest in Miller County to see tree structures he is certain to be constructed by the folk monster species. Lunsford was quoted as saying, generally this is one of the structures that you find the most of. It'll be an X structure. I don't know if that means this is the edge of my territory. I don't know if it means keep out or whatever it is. It was actually done by a Bigfoot. So here's one of the tree structures that they're talking about. People seem to like the accent. Thanks, I got it from my grandmama. So I'm having to do this the hard way, people, so bear with me. So here's that X that we were talking about. Because I'm having to screen share this because our normal slideshow presentation was not working. So now the interesting thing is we've found other things with our own Bigfoot investigations, with the cross trees, the other things that we got going on there. So let me go back to the 3-foot. So here's another footprint of the supposed Boggy Creek monster. It's pretty long. It's pretty big. It's kind of what we've been finding in our own Bigfoot encounters. You can kind of see it is a nice long one. We're looking at about... Sorry, I'm having to look at this in my own little thing here. This one's like about a foot and a half. I'm kind of reading out. Which makes about sense because the ones we've been finding out in the woods are about 16 inches. So, I mean, you kind of got the big one there. Now we're bebopping all over the place. So, Fulton County really got attention with the family that was attacked. And that was a resident of Texarkana in Miller County. Reported being attacked by a mysterious creature there. A reporter for the Texarkana Gazette wrote an article about the events, and from the small publication, a legend was born. Volcanist monsters became famous and were featured in a 1972 movie. In May of 1971, Bobby Ford reported to the Fulton Constable that he was attacked at his house by a hairy creature that breathed heavy, had red eyes, and moved very fast. Ford said the man-like creature, which was about 8 feet tall and 3 feet across at the chest, put its arm around his shoulder and grabbed him. Ford broke free from the creature and ran, reporting that he ran so fast that he did not stop to open the front door, but barreled right through it. He was treated at a local hospital for minor scratches and shock. Ford said the being had been around his house for several days, and there were other eyewitnesses, including his brother and hunting companion. Ford's wife Elizabeth claimed that she was asleep in the front room when she saw a hairy arm with claws coming in the window. She also saw the creature's red eyes. On the night of the attack, Ford complained he and his hunting companion spotted the creature at the back of Ford's house with the aid of a flashlight. They shot at it and thought they saw it fall. The men started out towards it, but Bobby Ford ran back to the house upon the group hearing women screaming. Upon Ford's return to the house, he was attacked. The men shot at the creature several more times, but investigators never found blood. The sheriff's department searched the area, and the only things officers found were a set of strange tracks and claw scratches on Ford's porch. So this is one of those cases where 9 out of 10 times the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the Mothman, whatever you want to talk about, they don't seem to ever really want to attack, but apparently the Boggy Creek, a folk monster, whatever you want to call him, the big, bad, and ugly, has a bit of a temper. So this is the book, Boggy Creek Case Book by Lyle Blackburn. He's a good guy. I met him a few times. We'll be going through that one in a wee bit. If you happen to be looking for the movie, that there would be the movie poster for it. It's kind of a famous poster. Now, we have never seen anything like that running at us. I mean, we've seen them. We've seen them, but not in water because we're not really in a swamp area. And as always, if you want to ask a question, throw out a comment, feel free to throw it in the comment section. We are live on Facebook, dbk.com investigations. We are live on YouTube, DBK Investigations. And we are actually live on Twitch. Even though not a lot of people watch this, it's more of a gaming platform. All right, so back at it. Jim Powell, then a reporter for the Texarkana Gazette and the Texarkana Daily News, and Dave Hall, then director of Texarkana radio station KTFS, went to Ford's place and found a terrified family moving out of the house it had owned less than a week. Powell wrote an article that appeared in the newspaper outlining the family's alleged sighting and attack. The next day, both the Texarkana Gazette and the Texarkana Daily published the same follow-up story. They contained the first reference to the name Folk Monster. The Associated Press and United Press International Wire Services transmitted the article to newspapers across the nation. The incident was made into a low-budget movie, The Legend of Boggy Creek, which perpetuated the story to an even larger audience. The movie, filmed in Folk, is a pseudo-documentary thriller about the creature in the town, and it stars some of the eyewitnesses and residents of Folk. Reported sightings of the Folk creature date back as far as 1946, when a resident reported to Miller County Sheriff Leslie Greer that she had seen a strange creature near her home. Sightings of a creature have been reported throughout Folk history, but no sighting has been as famous as the one that gained national attention in 1971. So we talked a little bit about the book there. And of course, we have comments from the news article. Why? Because they're fun. Unfortunately, James is stuck in traffic. The king is on his way to help me out here. Because I think this makes it even better when I go through the comments with James on board, because that way we can laugh and he can crack up and it could be a little bit more entertaining. I'll put this guy up for a little bit. Not scary at all. King James on in 5 minutes. I will try to keep the show afloat. We will save the comments for when the King Man gets here. Alright, so we're going to read a little bit out of the book Boggy Creek Casebook. Lyle Blackburn. You can find it on Amazon. We are not sponsored. If you ever get a chance to go to a meet and greet with Lyle Blackburn, please meet him. He's a great guy. He's cool to talk to. And hopefully he doesn't mind me taking out of his book and running with it, because he's done a lot of research on this thing. He's done a whole lot more research than I could actually find. And it's all just one handy dandy little book. All right, so we've got a sighting in an article printed in the August 23rd, 1973 Victoria Advocate newspaper. Folk resident Willie Smith claimed his sister saw the creature around 1908 when she was 10 years old. There were no details regarding the nature of the sighting, but after further research and interviews with the locals, Lyle discovered the sister Smith, referred to as Kate Savall. He had heard of Kate's sighting, and when I mentioned Smith's claim to a friend in Folk, I was told her sister and this woman were one and the same. According to the story, Kate had accompanied her family on a fishing trip to Mercer Bayou, a swampy area south of town. While she was playing in a nearby wood, she noticed a hairy, man-like animal watching her from behind some bushes. It quickly disappeared in the shadows and was not seen again. So that's an earlier one of 1908. We got one October 19, Texarkana. Curious story ran in the Daily Arkansas Gazette on October 5th, 1910. It mentions a strange beast supposedly loose in the area near Spring Lake Park in Texarkana. This location is approximately 20 miles north of Folk. The article reads in full, and I quote, "Wild beasts at large. A strange beast, which roars like a lion, is reported to be running a lodge in the woods north of Spring Lake Park near Texarkana. The animal said to have killed several pigs on the McAllister place and several dogs near Newtown. The roars of the strange beasts have so frightened the people of that locality that they are afraid to leave their homes after dark, and windows and doors are kept securely barred." Now, Lyle happens to go on and say that since the article doesn't provide a description of the creature, it's impossible to know whether it looked anything like an upright ape or a wild man. A lion's roar does seem very ape-like. However, the folk monster has been said to growl and howl at high volume. It would also be accused of killing pigs in later instances. So this article does leave one wondering. Because I do believe that would be the thing, is if it's growling like a lion or roaring like a lion. Could it be a lion? But if we are talking about a big hairy object running around, killing animals, not killing the dogs, apparently. I have not got to that part, so there's no John Wick moment on here. 1916, Wright Patman Lake. Another possible early sighting occurred around 1916, approximately 19 miles west of Folk, near Wright Patman Lake in Texas. While it may seem like a considerable distance, it's worth noting the incident took place near the origin of the Sulphur River, which is part of the largest waterway network that includes Boggy Creek. Boggy Creek, it's just kind of fun to say after a while. The story was reported by a retired geologist whose grandparents lived in a place called Knight's Bluff, west of Queen City, Texas, and just south of the Sulphur River. Today, there's still a campground on the edge of the Wright Patman Lake called Knight's Bluff, but the true Knight's Bluff was covered by water when the lake was created by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in 1953. So those are just a few of the little things. If you grab this book, by the way, which if I was smart, I would have put up a link, but then we ain't getting no kickback. We ain't sponsored by this. It's a good book. It goes back. He talks a little bit about everything. I'm just going to grab randoms until the king gets here. 1954, Folk. Around 1954, a woman and her two children lived on an isolated farmhouse about 2 miles from town saw a large hairy creature in their field. The woman promptly sent her son to fetch the landlord, but this was over 2 miles away and the boy had to get there on foot. By the time the landlord came to investigate the following morning, the stranger was gone. Of course, it's a 2-mile walk. And of course it's going to leave, unless you're throwing out some food or something for it. (1955) Jonesville at Sulphur River. In about 1955, James Crabtree reportedly saw a large gorilla-like creature along the banks of the Sulphur River near Jonestown, about 5 miles south of Folk. According to Crabtree's great niece, Sybil Attaway, James was floating on the river. Crabtree's great niece, Sybil Attaway, James was floating on the river. Crabtree's great niece, Sybil Attaway, James was floating on the river. And chaos ensues more and more.
Hey.
I saw you on. Anyway, so floating on the river, checking his trot lines when he saw the thing sitting on a muddy bank. It appeared to be washing his feet in the water. Crabtree tried to ease up on it with his boat, but it stood up and walked off on two legs. He later told family members he was positive it was not a bear. Folk facts: James Crabtree is the uncle of J.E. Smokey Crabtree, who would later become a prominent folk monster researcher. According to Smokey and other locals who knew James, he was a very experienced hunter and trapper who would not likely to mistake typical wildlife for an unknown creature. James's story is featured in the Legend of Boggy Creek movie. I've saved all the comments for you, King James.
Ah, thanks. Appreciate it. Sorry, the WIB kept me hostage for a while.
That's all right. It's perfectly allowed from time to time.
All right.
People just had to listen to me for 26 minutes.
Oh, that's it. Nothing? Come on, shit. At least
we got one person watching.
The one and only.
More than likely. All right. So the comments for the newspaper article that was last updated October 8th, 2024. So these are current.
Ooh.
I gotta slip back in my voice here.
Oh shit! Really?
It fits. It fits the whole scenario.
Unfortunately, yes, it does.
Hey, not many people grew up talking like they were from Arkansas, and they have never set foot in Arkansas. It's a curse. All right. I saw something just like this in northeast Arkansas in the late 1990s, a rural area called Stookie.
Snooky?
Thank goodness. Stookie. Sturkie. Stookie. Stookie. Sturky? Sticky.
Well, it sounded like Snooky, and I was like, really? We're going there? Just saying.
Sturky? Like turkey, but sturky?
Okay, that works too.
Sure, why not? Throw in more things that I have a hard time pronouncing. Yeah, maybe I need to drink more before these things.
Hey, I think I'm on number 3.
You're ahead of me. All right, anyway, thank goodness my boyfriend at the time was with me and also saw it. It was fast and huge with glowing red eyes. So eerie. By A. Clark. Got another one here. My father was a Washington County deputy sheriff in the 60s and 70s. He was also a barber. I grew up hearing Bigfoot stories from him. People confided in him because they trusted in him. He grew up in Madison County in the 30s and 40s and was a real hillbilly. The one Bigfoot story of his that stood out happened in the spring of 66. He had gotten a call to investigate a death of an old farmer. The man's body was found in the barn with crushing injuries to the chest, and the man's arms ripped from their sockets. His legs may have been ripped off too. There was a pitchfork nearby with blood on it. It had been buried into the creature. The many interviews of the locals provided stories of many close Bigfoot sightings. There were families of Bigfoots in the area. The law enforcement agencies involved decided not to mention Bigfoot as the cause of death and blamed the bull in the barn, despite the bull being locked up in the stall and not a drop of blood on the bull. My father told this story in confidence to a writer named Philip Still, who recited it in his book Ozark Tales and Superstitions. The incident occurred just off Highway 303, heading north from Highway 412. The area is close to the Madison-Washington County line.
Well, my question would be, did the barber actually give discounts to anyone who told him a good Bigfoot story?
I don't know. I wish this person would have gone on. It was Tracy from Springdale, Arkansas.
And that was earlier this year.
Yeah, a lot of these were this year.
Wow.
Beginning of October is when people were writing in.
Gee. All right.
All right. So, Mr. John M. Chips says, my family lived in Texarkana, Texas for many years. I left in 1979 to join the service around 1975-76. I went squirrel hunting down in Miller's Creek and discovered two sets of strange three-toed footprints in the muddy creek bed. The first is about 7 inches in length, much shorter than previously reported prints all over in folk. The other is only 3 inches. It looked as if it was a small female and child creature were foraging in the creek bed. Crushed mussels were littering the banks without the flesh. I returned the next day and made plaster castings. Over the years, only the 7-inch castings survived. In 1983, I loaned the casting to the San Bernardino County Museum, where it disappeared. No one claimed to have ever seen it. Let me see if I can find that 3-legged print again. There we go.
Let me take a closer look at this thing. Whoa, wow. It's interesting, the back end of that, the heel.
Yeah, it's definitely like nothing we've found on our investigations.
Definitely not. Wow.
But yeah, apparently the Boggy Creek, they found 3-toed. Let me put up another one. So there's another one.
That's a 4-toer.
That's a 4-toer. It's about 16 inches.
Dang.
So that's what we've been finding on our area was 16 inches.
Yeah.
There's another good deep one that was kind of like the one that we found in our
Yeah.
It's kind of got that big bank on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're seeing the cursor on this one, but that
Yeah.
big push on that one right-hand side.
So, yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been seeing quite a bit of on ours was that heavy instep where it seems to be coming through.
Was that especially on that last one we were on?
Yeah. And then, I mean, if you remember what we've been finding.
Yeah, the tree structures and that one.
Yeah, this one apparently is the creature sitting in the woods. So you got a shoulder, a head, shoulder.
Looks like a black blob or black poo.
So there's another one of the big X figures.
It's an X figure, but I mean you have it, but those at least that tree on the right there. I mean that looks like it could have came right out, falling over.
Yeah, I mean we'd have to see better pictures of the bottom of the base there.
Exactly, because that one there on the right, yeah, where you get that mark cursor, it looks like it's coming from the ground right there.
Yeah, so you got this one going up, you got this guy on the left coming up, and then you got the one in the center. It looks like it's pushed back into it. So it's similar to things that we've been finding.
Absolutely. Intriguing.
We'll leave it on the footprint for a while. We'll go back to comments while we stare at the 3-footprint. Yay, footprint. Actually, I'll probably have to go back to the case book. I only got one more quote. I was doing research in the Arkansas Gazette for a history paper back in the 80s and came across an article from the very early 1900s reporting on sighting of a unknown ape-like creature in the extreme southwest of Arkansas. I didn't think to make a copy or note the exact paper date, I think if it could be found by someone, it would be the earliest recorded report on what would become known as the folk monster. So, thoughts, feelings, people from the crowd.
Yeah, I tried to listen in as I was being swept back this direction, so cutting in and out. So this creature here, not like all the others, this one here, the Boggy Creek monster, like to attack people, is my understanding.
Yes. Yes, it has
And
been known to attack, and that's
how many incidents, reports of and how long has this been going on for again?
The earliest recorded was 1840, but 1972 was. We'll go with this one. So the movie, The Legend of Boggy Creek, is supposed to be a horror film, right? But it was 72, and it was about the 71 encounter with the family being attacked.
I've always wanted to watch that. I've not had the time to watch it yet. And I mean, I've been wanting to watch it well before this episode, but a lot of stuff's been life getting in the way. Huh.
Well, it's shot as a horror movie, but technically it's kind of almost a documentary because they do talk to the people that were attacked, the people that had seen it.
Well, so this poster looks like it's making him look like an ice skater or something. Or a speed skater.
Yeah, it's just a big old swampy area, and it just sends wander around down there.
Mm-hmm. But no one's been killed by it, just been attacked.
Well, I mean, if you count that farmer that had his arms and legs ripped off and chest wounds.
Oh shit! I missed that one. I must have been in a dead spot when you were talking about that one.
God, all right, I'll find it.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't want to waste the time on that.
We've still got like time to kill here.
Yeah, like I said, I was trying to listen in on the way from,
Well, I mean, this was, I got it right here in front of me. This was Tracy Hargler from Springdale, Arkansas. My father was the Washington County Deputy Sheriff and the barber. He had gotten the call to investigate the death of an old farmer. The man's body was found in the barn with crushing injuries to the chest. And the man's arms ripped from their sockets. His legs may have been ripped off too. And then there was a pitchfork nearby with the blood on it. So they blamed the bull instead of Bigfoot, even though the bull was locked in a So
and no blood on the bull. Yeah.
No
okay.
blood on the bull.
Yeah. All right. Well, hell. Anyway.
Let's see if I can find a real good one here.
We need some of these people to get clear-cut pictures. I've got to see real proof of this stuff. Now, to be honest, I could probably believe this Boggy Creek monster versus all the others we've talked about besides the Mothman. I could believe this one. Yeah, go figure. I don't know why.
Probably because of the fact that we've seen things very similar to it in our own investigations.
Possible.
I mean, if it is just a big old Sasquatch, It lives in a swamp like the Florida skunk ape,
Yeah.
but it has more of a temper. I
Has
mean,
more what?
we more of a temper to it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So apparently, this guy, the 3 foot or the one with the bunion on the foot that the other guy, the tracker, was talking about, um, this one does not seem to be very hospitable. I mean, now like our family is not. They put up with us.
They
I mean,
tolerate us.
they tolerate us. They like to let us know when it's time to leave.
Yeah. They'll really tolerate us here shortly, won't they?
One way or another, they'll let us know exactly what they think of us.
Right.
But I mean, we do have the footprints. We got our footprints. Let me just grab another random one out of the book. Let me see if I can find one that's a little bit more closer to the real date. All right, I got December 7th, 2019. Mercer Bayou. On the night of December 7th, 2019, Dustin Clark and several friends were scouting a wooded area at the north end of Mercer Bayou when Clark decided to walk ahead by himself. The moon was bright, which provided enough ambient light to see into the woods without having to turn on the intrusive beam of his headlamp. After he was away from the group, Clark knelt down and scanned the dark road ahead, looking for any signs of nocturnal wildlife. He saw something move. It was a silhouette of a large figure walking between two trees to his left. Chaos ensues.
Chaos.
What caught my eye was actually the moonlight. It was glaring off the hair on the back of the head, the shoulder, and the back of the arm as it was moving left to right, Clark explained. When I looked over, I could see the shape go across. The shape disappeared behind some trees as Clark grappled with the possibilities. I was in disbelief, excited, and my adrenaline was pumping. Clark reacted quickly, calling to his friend Stephen, who had a pair of night vision binoculars. Stephen hurried to where Clark was standing, and they began scanning the trees with the binoculars, hoping to catch another glimpse of the figure. They watched for several minutes, but nothing moved. I had almost given up when I looked over at the same side of the road, down in this gully, and I saw more movement, Clark continued. It went between some trees. I'm going to step away for just 1 second here.
Uh-oh. All right. If you guys have watched that movie, let me know how it is. Maybe I might watch it after all.
Might as well. I might. Sorry, I had to go off camera and sneeze.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So I'm gonna continue to drink until I don't need to. Sorry.
Well, I know Amazon Prime, Amazon Video.
Yeah.
We have The Legend of Boggy Creek that you can get on demand.
Yeah, we
And they
should get one of these times. We should do a viewing party on here with one of these cryptids. You know, if there's a little movie or something about it, we should just do a full-on viewing party and discuss it as we go.
Oh, you mean like a Mystery Science 3000 night?
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
We can cut it all down to pieces. Cut to shreds. Just a thought. I mean, I think this Boggy Creek would have been a good one.
It would have been. Well, since I can screen share, maybe next time around we'll find something that we're talking about. We can find a movie to correlate with it and try and stream it.
All right. Now we're talking here.
Yes, and The Legend of Boggy Creek, available to rent or buy on Amazon. It is 1 hour, 26 minutes. Filmed in 1972. It has 4.5 stars.
Ooh. So they did pretty well.
Apparently. So we're gonna put that out to we're gonna put that out to the audience. If you want to see a viewing party, James and I sitting here watching a movie. Maybe we'll do that one of these nights. Do a special,
right? Hey.
I mean, we can probably get into doing more interviews, bringing people on to endure the insanity and the madness of it all.
Yeah, so just you and me and our occasional guest co-host. Tammy says she's in.
I just got to figure out what movie we can do that we wouldn't get in trouble for.
Oh,
it wouldn't be. I mean, unless we did a Facebook exclusive. Not a Twitch, not a YouTube. That way we're not getting dings there. But
right.
So what do you think, Facebook world? How about we give you guys an exclusive and we do a viewing party on something?
Take this to the next level.
Take it to the next level. Get people more involved. Get them in.
Absolutely.
And then we could just cut this movie down to pieces.
Yeah, who doesn't want us to cut a movie down to pieces? I mean, it's chaos, right? We got to.
It is chaos. That's all what we are about.
It's kind of like mandatory. We have to.
That we do.
So again, how many sightings just this year alone for this?
This year alone, we're still kind of counting that up.
Okay. I the reason I ask is that all the other cryptids and stuff we've talked about, there's really been nothing, new or up to now. It's just, years pass and this is still current going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Mothman was just seen 2 weeks ago in Chicago.
Okay, the Mothman and Boggy Creek Monster. Everything else has just been like, you get these reports and that's it. Nothing, and nothing more from them. It seems like the mainstream cryptids, Boggy Creek, Mothman, those are the ones that seem to stay in the forefront of this part of the universe, so to speak.
Well, would that be because of the fact that everybody is more focused on them? I mean, now, like the Flatwoods Monster, if it was an alien, it was only around one time. The Grafton Monster, it was only seen a couple times. Sheep Squatch, I believe there was a sighting in 2004. That horrible thing that gives you nightmares. It's on your wall.
Yeah, that thing back there. All right. Enough. I did that for a reason. Actually, it's starting to grow on me. It may have to be a tattoo. Joking. Never.
Oh. Come on, I've got enough cryptid tattoos on me, man. You got to add one or two.
Touche. That one might have to be the one.
Yeah?
Yeah, it may have to be the one. They're going to go, what the freak is that? Do you really want to know? It'll give you nightmares.
I don't know. Maybe if we did a movie drive and we got enough people tuning in, maybe that would be an incentive.
Who wants to see me get a tattoo of a sheep squatch? There you go. Sheep squatch versus Boggy Creek monster? I don't know.
Well, you got a large Bigfoot type creature, 7 to 8 feet tall. I don't remember about Sheep Squatch. I think he was, 9 feet?
Something like that.
Horns versus, it would be like King Kong versus a mutated sheep.
King Kong versus Godzilla. Come on. That's the general.
Yeah, but I mean,
got
it's
sheep
the Sheep
squatch has
Squatch.
got that sheep squatch has got the tail
And horns.
and horns. And the fangs.
Yes.
The fangs.
All right. So YouTube people will give you an exclusive one night where we'll run a way longer. Maybe give you a good, I don't know, 2 hour you only type of scenario. Facebook, we'll figure out what movie we can watch that's B rated, and we can get around all the copyright strikes. And we'll have a movie night. Everyone bring in some popcorn.
And I'll bring the drinks.
And James will bring the drinks.
And then we both will bring the chaos.
That we will. But I don't think we got much else we can actually say on Boggy Creek besides the fact that it was scary. And
I'm disappointed I missed most of this, actually.
happens. It's chaos.
Yeah.
We'll leave the big guy up there. Now that there would be a tattoo, right?
Dang,
that would be an
dude.
impressive.
Hell yeah.
I mean, don't you have some deer and stuff on your back, like a western scene?
Where?
On your back.
Oh, hell no.
You're getting a back piece done. You ain't got no deer?
No, actually. It's you know, woods, waterfall, an Indian, an owl, not an owl, an eagle, and a wolf.
You're just missing this.
I'm just missing
Bigfoot wrestling a deer.
maybe I'll have them put in one of these cryptids in the forest somewhere. Well, let's play hide and seek on James's back. Let's put Boggy Creek Monster over here. Let's do Sheep Squatch over here. Hey, let's add Mothman up over there. Yeah.
Only your wife would know it for sure. Oh. So it's been a night. We're gonna look into that. So Facebook, yes, we're gonna look into what we can get away with
and how we can torture you more.
I think that should be a special night. There'll still be a Sunday show. We might have to do that on a Friday night. Might have to do it on a Saturday night. Just do like a random movie night here and there. Find some B, C, D rated movie just to rip apart?
Yes. Absolutely. I am so over game on this.
And I know we were talking about doing DBK hot seat, trying to work that in. So maybe we'll just bring the hot seat to Unleashed, and we'll have some actual people on to interview from time to time. Maybe we'll try and do one next week, because I don't know where we're going next week for what state we're hitting. So maybe we'll do a hot seat, and then we'll do some cryptids and some ghost stories, and then we'll do another hot seat. Then we'll figure out the movie night. I do know Tammy says rent a theater and have people buy tickets to join you. Well, Tammy, right now you're the only one watching, which means you'd be the only one coming. You'd be the only one attending.
And we appreciate you, but we're not renting the theater out just for 3 of us.
I think they'd have an issue with us bringing a lot of drinks in.
Exactly. They have no problem with you. It'd be me.
Well, if we could talk to the city of St. Helens and maybe set up on that old parking lot downtown where the beer garden was, and just bring in our own projector and shoot it up on the building.
Hey, yeah.
Maybe that's something we need to talk to them about. A DBK Unleashed night. Come on down. Watch the chaos. Watch a movie. In a scary, dark, haunted parking lot that used to be an old folks' home before it burned down.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I know we have some investigations coming up. We got 2 on the books. We got some other items on the books.
Yeah, you got 2 on the books?
We got 2 on the books. One on Rainier, and the one that you're coming out to, the Columbia Heights School.
Yeah, I'm going to join you on that one. Yeah.
And then we got some other friends of ours coming to join us on that one. We got Josh from Paranormal Parkour going to be joining us. We got DBK's newest investigator, Josh, the other Josh. Too many Joshes, too many James. That's why you're the king, baby. Oh.
The one and only.
Maybe we'll go to Tennessee next, so we can go to Memphis. Go to Memphis to talk about Elvis. Oh.
Graceland, baby.
Why not? Okay, well, so next weekend we're gonna do a hot seat. We're gonna bring in somebody. We got 100 things in Eugene. You should investigate here.
Send us some info.
Send us the information and we'll try to line something up. But anyway, yes, next Sunday we're going to have a hot seat. I'll try to line up somebody to throw them in the hot seat for an hour. Unscripted, unregulated, pure chaos, as always. Tammy will start researching it, who we need to talk to, who we need to bribe, who we need to send human organs to get us in.
And our sacrificial lamb.
Damn straight. On that note, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here. We thank you, everybody, for watching this chaotic Boggy Creek monster investigation. This is the Doc. I'm out.
I'm King James. Even though I'm just getting here, I'm out of here myself.
And we'll see everybody next Sunday for the very first Hot Seats. Bye, everybody.